It's kind of a long story. But both my parents died the year I graduated from high school. So that kind of threw everything into turmoil for sure. And I tried to keep things going myself. I guess I was about 18 then. And things kind of fell apart. We lost our cattle then because to settle debts when my dad died. About that time the war started in 41 and I was drafted. So the whole thing was such a complicated thing to look back at that I don't even see how we held it together.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I got back out of the Army, I borrowed some money and bought some cattle and got things going again, and seemed like it was okay then.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I guess this is open. Well, I'm making a goat. Does that look like a goat to anybody? Well, I don't know much about them. I've seen a few. I've been up where they were sometimes. I've seen them. I wouldn't want to kill one just for the hide. I think that I'm satisfied to leave their hides on. They're beautiful little animals, really. They really are. It's just like an old car. You might develop almost a feeling that it's a live thing. Well, I don't think it's a foolish thing. I think that maybe we're supposed to think that about things.
Mm-hmm.
Especially, if you can feel that way about a car, you should feel that way certainly about your horse, dogs, even wild animals, maybe even more so for them, because they have such a tough time. I guess I wanted to comment on some things I saw going on, and that was the way to do it. It's just an urge that a person maybe has to do certain things. And I wanted to paint, and I found out it wasn't that hard to do. In fact, it's kind of easy. I guess really what gave me the most incentive was reading a book by Van Gogh and seeing how he did it. And that kind of made sense to me. It looked like a good way to do it. So that's kind of the way I started out doing it. Splotches of paint. The rocks he outlined with heavy black. Looks good too.
And you started doing that out
I,
loud.
I have, yes, I do that on my paintings, on some of them. Yes, in one letter he did say how he likes to sometimes just squeeze the paint out of the tube and just squeeze it onto the canvas and leave it there, that heavy. That's quite a thing when you're short of money and can hardly buy food to use paint that lavishly.
Yes, yeah.
Just a bunch of books.
Yeah.
Makes an interesting picture. And here's that A Starry Night. In fact, that one up there, almost the same idea. I think that's too light. I'll put just a little green with it too. The ideas are the most important part of what I paint anyway. Those ideas are sometimes hard to come by, but they just appear, maybe from some place that I don't even expect them to appear from. Talking to you people, I probably get some ideas in the back of my mind, and I usually write them down when I get a chance and look at them and think about them, and yeah, the ideas, that's a pretty hard thing to figure out where they come from. Mark Twain said all ideas come from the Creator. I guess I wanted to comment on some things I saw going on, and that was the way to do it. Well, I suppose it's a lot like writing. A lot of people, they write because they want to change the world, for instance, and maybe some of them just want to write to make money, do it for money. But that was never my idea when I started painting, to make money. I guess now I could sell paintings easy enough, but it just doesn't seem that important to me. I'd rather just paint pictures that kind of irritate people. And I succeed in that too. Well, most of the reactions is really good. And then some people are too polite to criticize my paintings. But some don't like them at all. They just walk out and sit in the car while the rest of the family looks at the paintings. And I'd kind of like that too. It kind of makes me feel good. Like one guy, I could see he didn't like what he saw, and I said, well, there's something here to offend everybody. And he said, well, you're doing a good job of it. But he kind of laughed too, but well, I suppose it goes back to the thing of changing the world, if you can. And that cruelty business, that people ignore that so bad, they don't even think what they're doing to an animal. Like when they trap them, for instance. Yeah, it's hard to know why some people are so callous about things like that. But I don't know, it's just, you can't help but think about them suffering in a trap, and then it isn't all just the physical suffering. Think of the psychological, how worried they are. And that's almost as bad as the physical suffering, I think.
Did you always have that sensibility, or was it something that, developed as you went through life?
Oh, I'm sure that I'm sure it develops as you get older. Yeah, I've done cruel things myself. So I guess that I have to say it develops as you get older.
Okay, let's talk about this guy.
Well, he just seemed to evolve. I don't know what to say about him. It took us about 3.5 months to build that one summer. I don't know why I built it. If a person needs a reason, that's not a very good answer, is it? On this one, a person can see the heart. On this one, there's a little door on the side and a little light button you press. And birds tried to build nests in the nostrils, so I'd have them stuffed up with plastic. I didn't mind the birds building a nest in there, but I thought it would get too hot for them on a hot day with that metal around the nest. And they roamed this country by the thousands at one time. Isn't that a thought?
And what about the little mouse?
Well, he just accidentally got under that foot. I suppose that's my meanness coming out then.
You know, they always say about successful men and artists and politicians that there's always a woman behind the
yes.
man.
We like to hear that, whether it's true or not. Yes, I think that's true. Someone, they need a partner.
A lot of people think cooking is an art form.
I've heard that. Mm-hmm.
Do you ever feel like an artist in the kitchen?
Oh, well, I'm pleased when something turns out well. Just like Bill is pleased with the picture, I guess. Mm-hmm. And so,
Yeah.
I guess I'm chicken because I do like his softer, pleasanter pictures a little better than I do some of the controversial ones. He's always concerned about so many different things, and I think he expresses his concern in his paintings. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean he doesn't just overlook a lot of the bad things that are done in the world. And some people don't even get what he's talking about in his pictures, but others. And it's surprising, youngsters, he had a show on Anaconda, and I don't remember which grade, about 4th grade, they all wrote him a letter. And children are so perceptive. I mean, you think, oh, they don't even, it's just a big bunch of color, or maybe there's an animal or something. But they get the message so often. It's interesting.
I'm happy they saved the wolves. This must have been at about the start of the saving of the wolf thing. Picture of a wolf in the mountains. Happy wolves. Dear Bill, I like all your bloody drawings. I think they're cool. Your interested friend James, and here's a whale with people shooting things into him. Pretty good drawing too of a whale.
My father's always been an environmentalist, although years back they didn't use that term. He did do some things like spraying when that bandwagon first came to town, until he figured out that it was harming the earth. From when I was a little kid, I remember he'd read something about a new dam going in or something going on with a negative impact on the environment, and he would just shake his head and say, when are they going to learn? So when he started doing these paintings, which was in 1995 or 96 that he really started, he just used his canvas as a portal to put all of his ideas out there. So he has touched on just about every environmental ill that there is. He's touched on overpopulation, the indiscriminate use of pesticides. In fact, they were of enough interest that the Earth First organization put them on the covers of their journal on 2 different issues.
The giraffes stir, wake up in their narrow box. Goodbye, goodbye. I wish for you that you may die on the journey, both of you, so that none of your little noble heads that are now raised surprised over the edge of the case against the blue sky of Mombasa shall be left to turn from one side to the other and be all alone in Hamburg, where no one knows of Africa, by Isaac Dinson, who wrote the book Out of Africa. I'm going to see if I can blend that in a little too. And get rid of that sharp line between the trees and the snow. I don't know if that's going to look all that hot, but what the heck. Well, yeah, a lot of times I have my doubts whether it's worth painting. Lots of times I have that feeling, but then after I get it done, I feel content. I've just, although something was driving me before, all of a sudden I don't feel that drive at all. I feel like I've done what I should. So those ideas, I don't know that I can tell you where the ideas come from at all. They just come. I try to do some of them. Some I don't do because they're too wild. I might go to hell for sure if I did them. It worries me. But you can see it doesn't worry me too bad.
Where do you think we're all going to go after we die?
Well, maybe if I was the right kind of person, when I sat down in front of a bare canvas, it would come to me to paint that. But I really am not quite to that stage yet. Well, when they talk about heaven and all that, and we hope that's there. I'm pretty sure that most dogs go to heaven. But I'm not so sure about a lot of people. Maybe they all do. What do you think?
To order a DVD of this program for $19.95 plus $5 shipping and handling, go to ohrmannmuseum.com.